The king's back. 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 The king's back.
Yeah, what's up? What's good? What's cracking? Welcome to my live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and this is my daily morning vlog where I come on to talk about whatever the funk I want to talk about. On Thursdays, I talk about what's going on with me uh, and give a weekly update while I'm on this GLP-1 called Zipbound. So if you're here for my Thursday update, come back on that date. Otherwise, today I'm going to talk about a conversation that I had with my college freshman kid, in which she shared something that's interesting with me. And I think that it's a lesson that people need to remind themselves and remind their kids about as they're having conversations and things about what they have going on. So tune in with me, rock with me. I won't be long here today before I start my normal 9 to 5. If there's a like button that you're watching this on, do me a favor and mash that like button as it helps out on the algorithm. So, um, but before I get actually into the main thing, I want to highlight something here because it's going to lead into the discussion that I had with my daughter and what I had shared with her about the conversation of just being aware of your surroundings and your keeping your safety and things in mind. So I'm going to share an article here. See if I can get this up on the screen. Here it is. This story right here that I'm sharing, it has not got national attention, and I find it baffling that it hasn't, because it involves it has all of like the scintillating headlines. It has a refugee. It has um different, how do I say this to be politically correct? People from different cultural backgrounds and things. Somebody with a criminal record that committed another crime, and makes you wonder how in the world is this person not locked up, right? So right here, Irina Zarutska, was stabbed to death while riding the Blue Line in Charlotte South End last month. The attack sparked discussion about safety on public transit. So this is Charlotte, North Carolina. Okay. So the mayor issued a statement that I thought was, it could have been done better. The short version of it said the video of this heartbreaking attack that took this person's life is now public. I want to thank our media partners and community members who have chosen not to repost and share the footage out of respect for her family. Well, I'm not going to show the video itself. I'm going to see actually, uh, I'm going to talk about it. I can't actually show the video because of terms and conditions on this platform, but essentially, a young lady gets on a bus and she has a seat and she sits herself in front of the person who would eventually take her life. There was no conversation, no interaction, nothing that went down that caused her to disturb him other than she got on the bus and she sat down. I believe she was coming from her job and going home. And all of a sudden, the guy who's the suspect pulls a knife out of his pocket and just reaches out and then stabs her a couple of times. Just her. There's other people on this bus. They didn't know each other. There was no interaction. And she just senselessly and tragically lost her life because this guy decided to just go off. Now, there was a couple of different things that she did that I'm like, look, hindsight being 2020, I can quarterback this thing, but a couple of people that are watching understand this, right? Being that I'm not gonna say it's because I'm a veteran, but I believe I learned this while I was in the military. When you go into certain places, I like to sit a certain way. I don't like to have my back towards people. I like to be able to see my exits and all of that. Now, part of that was training because I was in a job where we traveled to different countries. I was an enlisted aviator and we would get these threat briefs from places, right? So as you're getting these briefings and things like that, and you're learning about like where not to go, what's the danger in the country that you're going in and stuff like that, you're then given some common sense tactics and common sense things to apply wherever you go. And look at that. The article decided to stop sharing. Um, but one of those tactics was you don't put your back to people, right? You look at where you're sitting and so that you have a viewpoint to be able to see any threats. Now, should you be comfortable getting on a bus and riding on that bus without losing your life? Absolutely. 100%. You should still apply certain safety tactics and things of that nature to be able to live your life and do things without having to worry about getting stabbed while you're riding the bus. So the loss of life in this situation is tragic. I do think that there is a lesson that could be learned with that. And it was after my daughter reached out to me and was telling me about what happened with her that I decided to have this conversation with her about the same thing. When you're riding, there's a certain seat that you should sit at so that you can make sure that you see things. Okay. And I'm gonna share my screen here of what the victim looks like and what the perpetrator looks like. So the suspect here, DeCarlos Brown Jr., 35 years old, with a criminal career of no fewer than 14 arrests, was charged with her murder. And here she is just sitting down on the bus. Again, she comes in, she sits down here, and she has her back to this guy. I'm going to tell y'all right now, I profile people, point blank, period. If you look a certain way, I'm not sitting next to you. I'm not speaking to you. if you smell a certain way, and y'all know what I'm talking about, don't act like you don't know what I'm talking about. You can get out and you can be around somebody and they have a certain look or a certain smell about them that you're going, I need to be on guard because this person might do something. I've been this is you know what? People have profiled me, and it's obvious. Like if I'm walking down the sidewalk, I've been walking down the sidewalk in my own neighborhood, just minding my business, getting exercise or whatever, getting these steps in. And I've had people cross the street so that we don't cross each other's paths. Whatever, I'm fine with that. Just don't, violate my rights. But she gets on, she's minding her business, she's on her phone. This guy right here pulls out a pocket knife and then takes her life. None of these other people right here got attacked. They didn't know each other. Just straight up senseless. Straight up senseless. And then he gets up after he stabs her. There's blood dripping from the knife and everything. And from the video that I saw, like nobody reacted. And eventually, the guy just gets off and goes. There's blood dripping everywhere. The guy calmly takes off his hoodie and then just walks off. He eventually gets arrested and he's on trial for murder. And this is his mugshot. I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm profiling somebody like this. I'm not sitting in front of somebody who looks like this. Call me what you want to call me, but call me being safe. And it's not just because of his color, it's everything about this dude would have my antennas standing up, period. And I'm not putting my back to him. Am I wrong for that? Am I wrong for that? Furthermore, that led to it didn't lead to so my daughter calls me. She's keeping me up to date with what's going on with her in college. I think that that's great. She's keeping the people that care about her just up to date with what's going on. But she shares this story with me about how she's going to an event, and on her way back from the event, she said that this old lady, and I asked her how old. She said she looked like she was somebody's grandma, was like talking to her, and then she said something like good things come in small packages. And I asked her, well, what did you do? She said, I just kept walking. I was just like, "Eh," and I kept walking. And she was like, why would she say something like that? I said, because people are crazy. Point blank, period. People are crazy. So it's why I'm having to tell her about doing certain things, being mindful of what she's of her surroundings and things like that, and just observing what's going on. Even if it don't look like I'm observing what's going on, I'm observing what's going on. I need to know who crazy, who might be trying to do something, where's the exit at, who needs to get skinny popped if something jumps off. Like I'm thinking about all of this stuff. And it's with like safety and things in mind because as somebody that has traveled around the world, I've seen a lot, I've experienced a lot, and I know that people are just insane out there. So have these uncomfortable conversations with your kids, with people that are young and getting out in the world. Have these conversations about the bad things that can happen. Have these conversations to inform your little ones because look, you can't protect them forever. You should make sure that they are armed with knowledge about what to do and what not to do. I can say that also my mom did a good job of that. Was things that she didn't do a good job of in life as I was growing up. She did do a good job of that. Mom, I'm not talking bad about you. It's just I'm an adult myself. I recognize the flaws and things that I've done as a parent. Parents don't always get it right. So I don't think personally that it's rare that anybody who is a parent is a perfect parent. But my mom did do that. She did instill um the way that the real world can affect you and things that you should just look out for. So I did have that as an early age. I had my eyes open to, some things. I choose to ignore a lot of things, but it's not that I'm ignoring it. I'm seeing what's going on and I'm keeping myself on guard in case something pops off. So when this lady said that to my kid, I just had to tell her, I said, well, hey, look, this is what you're going to experience now that you're out in the world. You should arm yourself with knowledge, arm yourself with um, physical capabilities to be able to do something if something pops off. And the best thing that you could do to put yourself in the best position possible to be able to have to defend yourself is to just be aware of your surroundings constantly. You cannot put yourself in a position where you are sitting behind somebody like this here, minding your business, and then that person decides to pop off, do something, and take your life. You can't just be on your phone down like this, not on guard with people like this out in the world. You just can't. You can't do it. It's unfortunate, but that's the world that we live in. So have these uncomfortable conversations with your young ones, arm them with knowledge of what's going on in the world, help make them a well-rounded person. Yeah, because everybody else out here that aren't given guidance, aren't given direction, aren't properly medicated, aren't properly taken care of, are just crazy and can do something stupid that can lead to loss of life and tragedy. That's my live stream for today. Hope y'all have a good day. I was going to talk about, there was an update to the story and I just found it interesting. You know what? I am going to talk about it real quick. Do y'all remember the Coldplay kiss cam that had occurred with the lady and the man that was canoodling all up on each other? I just like that word, canoodling. I needed a reason to say it. So this right here went viral back in July because there was a Coldplay kiss cam, and this couple was all up in each other. And when the cam went to them, they immediately had like an instant reaction of, "Oh, don't show us." Well, it turns out this was the CEO of a business called Astronomer. Um, and the lady, Kristen Cabot, let me go back here. So Andrew Cabot was the husband of Kristen Cabot, who was the lady that was pictured. So that's her. Um, the other dude, and I'm trying to remember what his name was, Andy Byron. He was the CEO. So you had the head of HR, which is her, the CEO, which is him, were canoodling against each other. Well, it turns out that they were in the process of separating anyway. Both couples apparently were in the process of going through a separation. I may not understand that right. I may be saying that right. Hold on. The guy in here was in the process of separating, and she was married, and I guess the husband didn't know any better. Well, obviously, both parties are now getting divorced or whatever, but the spin that HR is placing on it is that Kristen Cabot and Andrew, so the lady that was in the Coldplay picture and him were already in the process of going through a divorce. Anyway, it was just not public. But I'm like, well, if that was the case, then y'all shouldn't have and wouldn't have had any issues with doing what y'all did publicly. Kiss cam come up, you just don't react. But I just found that update was kind of fascinating. I thought that the HR spin on it was crazy. that they basically just said, I mean, look, we was already getting divorced, so we didn't do nothing wrong. Anyway, that's my live stream. Hope y'all have a fantastic start of your Tuesday. Get some exercise, eat properly, and come back and check me out tomorrow while I have my Monday morning live stream. I am the actual King Smith, and I'm out. Peace.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Trumpets blare the golden call. A throne of weights I rise so tall. Drums like thunder, shake the hall. Royal robe, I wear the weight. Diamonds cut the night, no debate. Heavy is the head, but I'm feeling great. Crown me king, crown me king. Horns will shout, let the kingdom sing. Crown me king, crown me king. Bow to the sound, feel the power I bring.